Ahoy, dear friends, and not the pirate ahoy. I hope I'm saying it right. That is hello in the secret, gorgeous destination that I am currently in right now. So right off the bat, can anybody tell me with those two details, where am I right now? And as always, please let me know if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay. I see Georgie from Sofia. I see Anya from Vienna, Austria. Not that far from me. We have Flick from Toronto. Oh, yeah, okay, 2 people already got it. I mean, you would probably guess quite quickly. Good job, Sebastian, and good job, Radoslav. It is the stunning city of Prague here in the Czech Republic. This is a city that I have been wanting to visit for so long now. It was like, on the top of my list of once I move to Europe, if I get a chance, I really wanted to go to Prague. So it is pretty freaking amazing that I am here right now. Let me know in the comments if anybody else who is here has been here before. Oh yeah, some other people guessed it as well. Amazing. It was actually crazy because on my Instagram, I posted my way here, and the only clue that I gave people was me on the bus from the airport, like going to the subway, not even any sort of scenery, just what the bus looked like and the outer parts of the airport, and there were people who were still able to guess it. So you guys got some, real skills of being an internet sleuth, or you've just been to Prague so many times that you know by the bus seats which city it is. So I was very, very impressed. Amazing. Okay guys, so of course there is so much to see, and if I'm being honest, like, this is literally my first day here, so in no way am I going to be like an expert or even be able to find the way everywhere. I've been walking around, the main center. I actually took a walking tour this morning, so that's who I got my information from and just my own research. So any locals or anybody who knows Prague really well, like, please, comment as we go. I would love to, hear from you who have spent much longer than I have in this beautiful city. And of course, I'm sure lots of people will be asking me questions about Bulgaria. Of course, I'm happy to answer those as well, because it has been about a month now since I moved. It feels like a lot has happened in that time. And yeah, so I'm happy to answer any questions about that as well. Vencislav said that he saw me on Bulgarian television just a few days ago, and that is correct. I actually did an interview for another news network in Bulgaria a few days ago, which isn't out yet, but yeah, funny enough, this other kind of breakfast TV show had me on there, so that was a really, really nice surprise. And yes, Borislav is also making a good point, saying how Prague is known for their Christmas markets. That was technically, what I wanted to initially come here for, but with how long, my paperwork took, it was just not good timing for me to come, as soon as I had arrived to Sofia. So I'm coming a little bit later than I initially wanted to, but still, like, it's the first days of February, and while it's a little bit cold, there's no like snow on the ground. I'm not absolutely freezing, so it's still actually an all right time to come to Prague, and the prices tend to be a lot less for like accommodation and all of that than it would be like in the summer. So all right, without any further ado, guys, let me flip the camera and give you a view of the first beautiful I guess you could call it, attraction that we're seeing here in the city, which is the Powder Gate Tower, which is from the 15th century. The king's procession, I guess, would like go through these main gates of the city, and at different points in time it also was a storage for gunpowder, so I guess that's where it gets its name from, the Powder Gate. And now it is also attached to this absolutely gorgeous municipal hall where they have different orchestras come and play. They have some absolutely, beautiful restaurants. Like the restaurants and cafes here are like on another level. So I was just actually in this building and might have to pop in there for dinner. It is just so beautiful. So just reading your comments here, guys. All right, so we got a lot of things to show you, so let's head on forward. To be honest, from first impressions, Prague really reminds me kind of a mix of Paris, with the very beautiful, like, Baroque, and I know Paris doesn't have like a lot of Gothic architecture, but it has some. Prague definitely has a lot more Gothic architecture, but to me it reminds me of Paris and also Lviv in Ukraine. Like, as you'll see, their Old Town Square is a much kind of bigger version than the Lviv town square, at least in my memory. So it's just such a beautiful historic city. And also an interesting fact that I learned from my tour guide today is that Prague is one of very few capital cities that more or less has all of their historical buildings intact from the World War II era and before, because because Nazi Germany had actually basically invaded them a year before the start of the war. So since they were just taken, I guess they didn't see any point to destroy the city as much. So even though they were under occupation, at least the city wasn't as destroyed. So that's why you still see just perfectly intact historical buildings in a very large area of the city. See here. Oh, I see my mom in the chat. Привет. My mom, if you follow me on Instagram, or actually, you know what? Maybe I don't want to give it away because I haven't released the YouTube video just yet. So actually, I'm not going to give away my secret just yet. You guys will find out something really interesting about my mom in this coming week's video. If you follow me on Instagram, please don't give it away. Please don't say it in the chat. Much appreciated. Hussein asks, will you be filming a tour of Varna, Rus, and Burgas? If I'm pronouncing those correctly. Two of them are port cities, very interesting and beautiful. I'm looking forward to your broadcast. Yes, for sure. I'm not certain yet of my travel plans for the summer, but for sure I'll be traveling around Bulgaria and filming content. So absolutely, I have plans to do that. Aw, thank you so much to Rahul for the super chat. Have fun in Prague. Looks like a charming city. It absolutely is. As soon as I got here, it just reminded me that like this is why I moved to Europe. Like obviously I love Bulgaria as a country, but I wanted to move to Europe as a continent where amazing cities like this are just a stone's throw away. Like I technically had to go through Istanbul to get here because I had a Amex credit, but there's obviously lots of like direct flights that from Sofia it would take like a couple of hours and you are here. So it is just amazing to live, you know, in a continent where you are able to be surrounded by so many amazing places within like an hour or two flight. So very, very impressive. As I flip the camera here, Susan says, I heard they filmed Amadeus in Prague because it looked more like Vienna of the 18th century than Vienna does now. Oh, interesting. I don't know that one for sure, but I know they filmed the Mission Impossible movies here, and there was another really famous movie that they did here. But yeah, very, very popular for like, you know, movie sets, because like, hello, aesthetic. Oh my goodness. Jim Ross, thank you so much for coming out and for the very generous super chat, trying to get brain working from the jet lag of return from Tokyo, but I'm not going to miss Alina McLeod's surprise live. Thank you so much, Jim, and I completely understand with the jet lag, so really appreciate you coming out here, and very jealous that you got to spend so much time in Tokyo because I miss it dearly. But thank you so much as always. You guys are so kind. And I guess I didn't mention yet how long I'm staying here. Sadly, not long. Like ideally, I would have spent a whole week in Prague, and that was originally my goal. Like I was going to spend all of February traveling around Europe, but unfortunately with how long my paperwork has taken on so many different regards, I have to be back in Sofia in less than 2 weeks time to pick up my residency card, which I guess, I mean, I'm very happy about that. I'm more or less approved for my 1-year residency card in Bulgaria, so that just means that every year onwards, assuming everything is good, I can just renew it, and then depending on how things go at the 5-year mark, if I'm, you know, qualified, I can apply for permanent residency. So that itself is good news. I'm not complaining, but because of that fact, that's why I have to go back to Sofia, and I'm not able to spend as long, you know, this month traveling around Europe. But I will be in Prague for about 3 days, and then I have 2 days in Vienna because there was like a super cheap flight back to Sofia out of Vienna. Out of Prague, it was like really expensive for some reason for my dates. So that is what I am doing here. Let's see here. Tanyo, I don't actually stream on TikTok because just my audience isn't as big on there, sadly. So that's why I stream on on YouTube. But maybe someday I will stream on TikTok. We'll see how things go. All right, guys, let me flip it back to the view, because this building, from what my tour guide this morning told me, is actually one of the most famous buildings in Prague, because it is one of the few examples of a cubism style of architecture. And as you can see, the restaurant itself is like themed in that style, where like all of the art and furniture in there, you know, is on that theme. So that is pretty cool. Just in general, like if you like art, architecture, history, you know, all of that, Prague is absolutely one of the top cities to visit in the world. Oh, thank you so much, Veselin. Thank you for the super chat. Bulgarian here. Hello from the highway to Sofia. Europe is a very cool place, and Prague is the best city on the continent for a beer or two. Thank you so much. I will absolutely use that for the amazing beer that they have here. the fact that it's also cheaper than water still shocks me. Like, I got in pretty late last night, and knowing that I'm going to drink in these coming days, I was like, let me just take it easy tonight. I just want to get a sparkling water. And the sparkling water costs more than the beer. Whoa, damn. Sorry, guys. This gimbal is still giving me problems, unfortunately, and I'm not sure why. I'm gonna adjust it. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But yeah, so the beer here costs more than water. So if I have any negatives to say about Prague so far, I think that's the only one. So nothing that serious to complain about. Thank you very much, Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Cost us World of Music Memories for the super chat. On our way back from San Francisco to Richmond, wanted to drop by and say hello. Hope you're doing okay. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you're doing well with, I know, everything that you have going on. So sending you lots of love and hope you have a safe trip back. Good to see you on here. Gonna flip the camera here, because yeah, and we're not even in, like, the old town square yet. I kind of saved that for a little bit later. I'll like work you guys up to that absolute beauty, because like, look at this. Oh, also, thank you for the super rose, we'll say, to Ruben. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Okay. Let's see if I can remember how we get to the Old Town Square, but also hit a couple of the sites that I was shown earlier today that were super interesting. And by the way, would absolutely recommend taking a free walking tour that they have here and most other major cities in the world. It's basically like a pay what you want style of tour. They're always led by locals and are just super informative, especially if you got to a brand new place. Like, it's great to just be shown the basics by a local. So that's what I did this morning, and it was really interesting. I'm still trying to get used to the currency here, though. I think their currency is called coronas or something like that, like crowns, I guess, translation. And if I remember correctly, it's like 200 of them for like 10 Canadian dollars, which would be like 7 US or something like that. It's a bit of a difficult currency to know exactly how much things cost, to be honest, but I would say that from my first impressions, and keep in mind I am kind of in the touristy part of the city, so things will cost more than like local prices, but I would say that obviously Prague is less expensive than a city like Paris or Rome or something like that, but it's still I'd say maybe 20% more expensive than, let's say Sofia or like, Bucharest or something like that, like other Eastern European capital cities. So overall, I would say it's reasonable. It's fairly reasonably priced. I actually managed to get a really good Airbnb in the old town for like 35 Canadian dollars a night, which is a deal. But it's like just your own room. You have to share the washrooms, but booking last minute, I couldn't ask for better. So definitely more reasonable than Western Europe, and still all of this beautiful historical charm. So much to see and do. There's no way that I'm going to see everything I want to see in 3 days. So I will absolutely be back. This building right here, which is actually a concert hall, and I believe it is the original that has just been refurbished. I'll show you it from farther away in just a minute, but it's a very important building because this was where the premiere of one of Mozart's operas took place. I think here on this plaque it actually will say exactly. It says, in memory of Mozart's Don Giovanni's opera premiered in this theater the 29th of October 1787. And so even though Mozart's obviously originally from Austria, he was very popular in the Czech Republic and spent a lot of time in Prague. So this building is very significant for that reason. Let me just back up here a little bit. Look at this. It says, my pronunciation might not be good, guys. Patria et Musis, if that's even remotely in the ballpark, but like absolutely stunning, gorgeous, living history right here. All right, let's keep moving on down. Oh my goodness. I have a fellow Ukrainian in the chat. Innisfree, greetings from Kiev. Привіт. Hello, hello. More than likely I will be visiting my family in Kiev probably in the coming months, but I don't want to say 100% just yet because of course it depends on the state of things right before I plan to go. Thank you for somebody with true historical knowledge saying correctly what I did not. That is correct. There was no Czech Republic at the time of Mozart. In Austria and Czechia were both part of the Habsburg Empire. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. I'm not exactly sure of like all the, historic timelines, unfortunately, just yet. Oh my goodness, hello to my family friends, Dale and Arvella Holmgren from Saskatchewan. Minus 24 here, 4 inches of fresh snow overnight, no snow there. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry to hear that, but not at all surprised. Oh, yeah, I can't say I miss those Saskatchewan winters whatsoever, but I hope you guys are doing good. And Arvella, I hope you're recovering well. I'm glad you guys are here on the stream. Now, I haven't been to this place just yet, but I was told by my tour guide that this place, Havelska Karuna, is actually a good place to go for like actual local Czech food for, fairly reasonable prices, considering it is in the old town. And, of course, things are going to be more expensive here. But, yeah, as you can see, a lot of the meals are like under 200 coronas, which is for sure under 10 Canadian dollars. So, like, honestly, some of these are probably even like $5 US, which, yeah, is super, super reasonable compared to other restaurants I've seen. But like, as my tour guide was saying, like, this is heavy food. Like, it's just beige, not a vegetable other than potatoes in sight. So, questionable how healthy it would be to eat this for every single meal. But on cold days, and if you want some, meat on your bones, this is the place to go. So I think I will go here tomorrow. That's actually the dish that she recommended. Svikova, I think, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. She said I should try that. So if you guys have any suggestions of good Czech food to try, definitely let me know. And then right beside it is, Hooters. So you have options, American hamburgers or Czech food. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Ruben. Thank you so much. I will absolutely be doing that PSA who says you should start a new series of live streams of Eastern European cities, Budapest, Sofia, Bucharest, Warsaw, Prague. That is exactly the plan. Now that I live in Europe and will be traveling quite a bit, y'all, the live streams are gonna be epic. They are going to be epic. Because like, look how many interesting things I have to show you guys. I actually wasn't gonna walk around this. We'll head down to the old town in just a minute. But now that I'm here, no, like let's take a look around this little market here. Because even though it's not a Christmas market, they still got like, oh God. 1 second, guys. I don't know why I'm having problems with this. What the heck? My gimbal totally stopped working, guys. Like, actually, what happened? Okay, this is weird. Guys, literally, my gimbal, like, stopped working. At first, I thought it just, like, disconnected, but it literally stopped working. Give me a minute. What the hell? What the fuck? DJI, like, I never have problems with their products until this gimbal. Like, I don't know. It's doing the same stupid thing that it did the first time that I used it in Calgary, where it's like, it's just blinking. I don't know if you can see it. It's blinking, well, it was blinking a red light with the battery. And of all the days, of all the times to have a freaking problem, why today? Okay, well, that's that. I'm gonna have to go without a gimbal, guys. So let's just, I mean, sorry for the shaking. My hands are not as steady as a gimbal, but that's all we got right now. Unfortunately, I'll have to figure out what the hell is wrong with this thing, or if I have to freaking buy a new one, even though I literally just bought it. So annoying. Okay. Anyways, we were going to start on this fabulous market. So look at this. We got hey now, Tago, there's nice things that are made in China. Tago says your hands are not made in China. Hopefully the new one will be better. Usually DJI doesn't do me wrong, but this gimbal has not been good. Unfortunately, guys, with my live video not being clear, is it clear for anybody else? Because sometimes it actually depends from each person's internet connection, because it's weird. Some people will say the stream's okay, some will say it's not. It depends on your connection, and it also depends on YouTube, because YouTube throttles the quality. I can't stream at 1080, unfortunately. It only gives me 720, so I apologize for that. Look at this gorgeous fruit that we have here, and like a pretty reasonable price. I think this is like $2 or $3 US. So that is a deal in my opinion. We have all of this local honey. Oh, thank you very much to Larry Barrett for the super chat. Thank you so much, Larry. Hope you are doing great. Much appreciated. Here we are. Yes, so much fruit here. Oh my gosh. This looks so good. Different kinds of souvenirs. The only thing I'm a bit worried about right now, guys, is I started this live stream at 4 p.m. my time. And, you know, my one in Sofia, I think I had actually started at 5. But it is looking darker than I anticipated at this time, because it's only been like half an hour, so it's only 4:30. So I'm not going to do the whole market because I want to take you to the town square before it gets super dark. So let's head on there. Stream is too shaky. Yes, unfortunately, that's what happens when my gimbal stops working, guys. I apologize. Let me try it again just in case. I'm gonna see if it... No, it still wants to be difficult. It's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. All right, well, we're just gonna have to make the best of it, right, guys? Because we don't always get an opportunity to be in Prague. We gotta make the best of it. I think my first live stream that I ever did, which was in Sofia, I was just using a regular tripod. I wasn't, using a gimbal. So, we're going back to the old school days. TR2897 says, Prague is my favorite city in Europe. Have a nice time. Totally understandable why it would be. It might honestly be one of my favorites now. Because the other reason that I really, really like it is, unlike Paris, which I also love, like obviously I love Paris, I don't have to worry for my safety quite as much here, and I don't have to constantly think about like pickpockets and all that, even though of course, you should be careful anywhere you go, and it can happen anywhere, but the name suggests, so if you're into that, you can go check it out. And they have these little cone dessert things here. They look so good. Oh my gosh, can you guys not hear me now? Or was that from before? I hope this is in real time here. Now I'm seeing comments from you guys that I'm back, but I've been back for a while. I wonder if there's a lag or something like that. Okay, until I know we are good, I won't reveal the town square just yet. It's clear now. Okay, amazing. Yeah, once again, my apologies, guys, but let's make the best of it, because we are coming up to one of the most beautiful town squares that I have ever seen in my life. Take a look at this. Like, what? This is just stunning. I have no words for it. Right in front of me, the big tower that you're looking at is possibly the most famous attraction of the city. It's called the Astronomical Clock, which is not just any clock. It doesn't just tell the time, but it also shows the moon phases, the month, the, I guess, like even seasons or whatever with the colors there. And every hour on the hour, which unfortunately we're a ways away from right now, but the little figurines around it come out and do a little bit of a dance. But apparently the dance is actually not that good and is more of a recent thing. It wasn't actually like in the original, oh my god, there's so many people. It wasn't actually in the original clock design. But there's an interesting legend that I was told about this clock, where when it was built hundreds of years ago, it was the most impressive clock in all of Europe. So many people came from all over to be able to see it. And even then, you know, the government of the city realized, oh my gosh, like we're making so much money from all of these tourists coming to see this clock. We have to make sure that nobody, you know, gets a clock similar to ours, because then the people would stop coming here. So allegedly, I guess they don't know this for sure, but apparently they took the guy who designed the clock, got him really drunk, and then stabbed his eyes out and cut out his tongue. Like, actually, apparently, allegedly, that's what happened. And that's just like one of many things that makes Prague kind of a darker sort of city. Like, there's a lot of, you know, really spooky stuff that has gone down in this city. And I'm actually taking, you can more or less call it a ghost tour in the days that I'm here, kind of talking about this dark underbelly of the city. So yeah, literally like the most famous attraction of the city, which is this clock, has that really dark sort of story. So thought I would tell you guys about that. All right, so let's keep on moving here. There's a stunning cathedral in front of us. And the nickname of Prague is actually the City of 100 Spears. You know, the pointy things on top of cathedrals, because they are, you know, kind of a important part of like Gothic architecture. So since there are so many, you know, buildings like that, that's where it gets its name from. And yes, you are right in saying that Greece, what did I say, Greece? I think I saw a comment from somebody from Greece. There was a comment made of like how clean Prague is, and I agree. That kind of goes in with my other comment. Actually, what is going on? Sounds like some kind of football cheer or something like that. There's a group of guys. Not sure. But yeah, alongside the safety of Prague, and once again, I'm generalizing, it's also very clean, which I absolutely love. So honestly, Prague, even though this is my first time here, it was, you know, a city that I was technically considering. You know, I was looking into what would it, you know, require to be able to move to the Czech Republic, how much would it cost to live in Prague, because obviously, you know, if I'm going to move here, I wouldn't really live in a small city. I need to live in the capital. I looked at, you know, what is the rent here in Prague, and you know, is there actually a pathway for somebody in my case to move here? But unfortunately, it was a bit complicated, and of course, taxes are higher than in Bulgaria. And while the cost of living isn't as crazy as the other major cities of Europe, it was still, I'd say, at least 30 to 40%, well, maybe not 40%, but probably about 30% higher than in Bulgaria. And the other problem is that if you ever want to buy real estate in Prague, good luck. Like, the market here is absolutely like ridiculous. It's almost on par with like Toronto prices if you actually want to own a place. So for those reasons, that's why I, you know, didn't really consider it. And also, as much as I love it and as scenic and beautiful as it is, I kind of alluded to this before, but I don't really enjoy living in a place that is super popular with tourists. Like, obviously me coming here as a tourist, I'm, you know, a part of the problem, you could say. But like, you know, this is the low season. Imagine the high season when this whole square is just filled with people, and, you know, even outside of the old town, like, you just get these huge like tour groups just walking around everywhere. And, you know, it's just not my cup of tea. I'd prefer to like visit these really popular places and then go home to like a more chill sort of place. So that's just, you know, my 2 cents of why at this point in time I wouldn't consider living here. But having said that, like, my God, it is stunning. And overall, it seems like a very well taken care of city. So hats off to the locals here. High season in Prague would definitely be in the summer, as with most European cities, I would say. Oh, a big hello to Sarah. Thank you so much for coming out. Amazing. Guys, one thing that I need to do as I try and hold the camera is put on my gloves, because when I was trying to fix my gimbal, I took off my gloves and now my hands are freezing. So give me 1 second as I try and do this. Actually, it's not going to be a view. 1 second. Oh my God. Oh God. Today's a DIY. Where's my other glove? What the hell? Sorry, guys. Oh my God. Okay, I think we're back. Great, I have gloves on. The only issue is now it's a little bit harder to scroll for me with the comments, but I will try my best. We actually have almost 400 people here in the live stream. Thank you all so much for coming out. Oh, and thank you to my lovely friend Lane. Congratulations on hitting 330k subscribers. Thank you. Guys, if you could do me one, my lovely friend Lane's birthday is actually coming up here in a couple of days. Everybody, please wish her a very happy birthday in the comments, because she deserves to have a fabulous birthday. I wish I would be there for it, or I could teleport you here. We will have to do that next year, maybe for both of our birthdays, since we're both Aquarius babies. Aw, 1 sec here. Thank you so much to Sarah for the super chat. Congratulations on the move. Here's a little housewarming gift. I'm so proud of you, girl. You're such an inspiration. Thank you so much, lovely. That is so kind of you. Yeah, it's honestly a bit surreal still that, like, you know, I'm actually here. The process is more or less solidified. Like, of course, it's not the end of the road. Of course, I don't have permanent residency. And at this point in time, I don't even know for sure if, you know, I'm going to live in Bulgaria long term or where I'm going to live long term. But I'm just happy that I get this opportunity, that, you know, I'm here right now, and, you know, I'm just hoping for the best going forward. So all things considered, I'm so happy that, you know, I took the risk to make this happen, because it wasn't guaranteed, right? Like, my visa could have been denied, or who knows what other issue could have come up. But, you know, even with the bit of headache that I've gotten with all my paperwork, it still has more or less worked out, and that's primarily thanks to the amazing help that, you know, I hired through this process, because to do it yourself would not be fun. That's what I will say. Let me see here. Thank you guys for wishing Lane a happy birthday. And yeah, thank you once again, Sarah. That is so kind of you, and I hope you are doing great. Hope you get to visit Prague if you already haven't. It is just such an amazing city. So everybody should come here. It is just amazing. So let me give you another view here of the clock tower and the old town. Like, obviously there's so many little side streets, right? Like, there's so many little beautiful side streets all in this area. I will be exploring here more in depth tomorrow, so you will see that in, you know, my first video of Prague. But now I am actually going to walk you to another important area of the city that's close to the old town, which is the Jewish quarter, which, you know, from before and during the war was one of the, you know, poorest, worst areas of the city that they just did unimaginable, you know, the Nazi occupiers did unimaginable things to, you know, the Jews who were living in this area. And then after liberation and in the last, you know, few decades especially, it is now the nicest area of the city and the most expensive area of the city to live. So I think it more or less starts right now, which, as you can see by the Cartier, the Dior, Louis Vuitton stores, like this boulevard is just gorgeous. And yes, I will actually end on the bridge. Good guess. No, guys, this is not Bulgaria, unfortunately. Like, obviously, I love Bulgaria, but of course, you know, it's not the Czech Republic. But once again, there's things I like better about Bulgaria than I like about the Czech Republic. So it all depends on your particular case and what you are looking for in life, right? I think it would be much more difficult for me to also learn the Czech language, even though, I mean, they do have a Slavic background as well. And a few of their words I actually found similar, just like from hearing it, to Ukrainian. Like even their word for thank you, I think is dekuyu. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was like dekuyu, which is very similar to like dyaku in Ukrainian. So, you know, I think there are some similarities, but it definitely would be more difficult for me to learn Czech than it is Bulgarian, especially even just with the writing, right? So that was another reason of why Bulgaria worked better for me. Look at all these expensive cars here. For those asking about how easy it is to get around with just English, super easy, at least in the tourist center, like here in Prague, like absolutely nobody will bat an eye, obviously, to speak English. If you went out of the city center, then it might be more difficult. And I've never personally traveled around the country, obviously, so I don't know how it is in other places, but as far as the center of Prague, absolutely no problems. Look at that. The architecture here is just like on another level. Actually, did I miss the street with the synagogue? Does anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? Did I miss it? Oh, I think I did. Crap. I mean, fair, because I have only walked down here a handful of times. Maybe it was back here. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna just walk back, unless I'm walking back the wrong way. Oh no. Technically I've done okay, right? Like I literally just got here last night and walked around this morning, so I am actually remembering things not too bad. But there was a synagogue that I wanted to show in this area, but I can't remember which turnoff it was. Maybe it was this one coming up here. Or actually, was it down here? Oh gosh. I really don't know. No, I really don't know, guys. Oh no. I really don't know. But you know what? We're just going to go down this street and see if it will lead us to where I would like to go. Worst case scenario, I think I can lead us out to the river and we'll go out to one of the bridges for an amazing sunset view. But ideally, I came down here because there's a lot of really beautiful synagogues, and there's also, you know, the Jewish Museum, which of course tells about the horrors of the Holocaust. So, you know, very important part of history. But I am still new to this area and the streets are a bit windy. Oh, I think I missed a super chat from Jim Mork. Thank you so much. Lena visits such amazing places. You betcha, Jim, I do. I feel so very grateful to be able to visit places like this. Like, sometimes I can't believe that this is my life. This is just amazing. Let's see here. Gonna flip here. Very colorful buildings. And we are going to go down here. One of the funny things that my tour guide had said this morning is, for sure a tourist trap in Prague is all the stores that look like cannabis stores, right? You see the Smoking Panda in front of us. But what people don't realize is that actual THC, you know, the stuff that actually makes you high in cannabis, is illegal here. Like, it's illegal here. They're only either selling CBD or some other thing that I don't think actually makes you high. So she said, you know, if you're wanting to do that here, don't be fooled. It is actually illegal here and they're not allowed to sell that in store. So kind of strange. Look at all these beautiful boutiques. To your right is the synagogue. Oh my gosh, thank you, Norman. You mean at the end of this block, right? I hope. Let's see here. Oh, what is that it? Because I remember it was a pink building. Well, it's not down here. Did you mean to my left? Because I kind of see a building that kind of reminded me on that corner there. I lost in Prague, guys. Let's see if that's it over there. I kind of see this like pink kind of roof peeking through that reminds me of it. Let's go see if that's it. Is this it? Is that it, guys? Norman, is that it? I think it is. I know, yes, there is lots of synagogues in this area, but yes, and it's the one that, yes, this is the one I think I meant to go to. Yeah, my tour guide said there was like 5 or 6 really famous ones, but if she said if you only had time, go to this one, because it has like, I mean, obviously talking about the Holocaust is just a very horrific and depressing subject, but she said that there was this really beautiful sort of part of the museum that had drawings from, you know, the children that were in one of the concentration camps just outside of the city, and like one of the wonderful women who was there with them kind of did it as art therapy for them to kind of distract them from, their horrible environment. And so they have all of that displayed in this synagogue / museum, if I'm not mistaken. So she said, if you're only going to visit one, go to this one. And it's called Pinkasova Synagogue, from what it says. So very, very tragic. But this is where I meant to get to. So look, guys, we worked together as a team. Primarily, thank you to Norman for pointing out where I was. Thank you very much. David, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, Prague looks so marvelous. Thank you so much, Alina, for showing us around the city of Prague. It's so wonderful. Enjoy your visit. Thank you so much, David. And I agree, this is just like a spectacular city. Like, even when I just got in last night, and like just when I got out of the subway, it was kind of like this arch, and then you can see Prague Castle, which you guys will see in just a minute, off in the distance, like all illuminated with light, and all of these like cobblestone streets. I was like, wow, like this is really, really something special. Like, I see why people say that this is, their favorite city in Europe. Like, it really is on another level. Like, look at this. See, in this part of the city, it's fine, right? Like here, even though it's kind of still in the old town, you don't see a crazy amount of tourists, which, is better. It would just really bother me, to have hordes and hordes of like tour groups as I'm trying to get around the place I live. So it's like, I really feel for the locals in Paris or in London or something like that. Like, they have to deal with so much crap with having tourists like constantly in their city, and especially when tourists don't properly behave themselves. Like, that's just inexcusable. So yeah. But look at this. Can you see right in front? This beautiful, it's actually a cathedral that you see the top part there sticking out, but in front of us is the huge complex of Prague Castle, which is in the Guinness World Book of Records as the largest still in use castle, and also the oldest castle, something like that. It won lots of different awards, but it's actually not just one structure, it's kind of like a complex. So I haven't been up close to it just yet. I'll definitely be doing that for one of my videos, but that is it in front. And let's see if we can just get across the road here. I'll give you guys a view of the river, and from there I'll probably have to end the live stream because the sunset came a lot earlier than I was expecting. Like, I thought it would be pretty light out up until 5:30, but it's almost 5 p.m. now, and it's already getting pretty dark. So unfortunately, this live stream has been a bit of a challenge, not only with technology being slightly cold and also the sun setting, but I still feel like we got to see quite a bit. I'm so glad that all of you came out, and I'm not sure if I'll do a live stream from Vienna. Like, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time there, and it would also be in a few days. Usually I like to space my live streams out a little bit farther, but if I do end up doing one, I'll definitely let you guys know. Let's see here. Just before we get on the bridge is, of course, also this spectacular building, which I believe is also a concert hall, and also I think they have a bit of an art gallery in there. So all over the cities, there's actually so many different places to listen to, especially like classical music. So if you're a fan of, orchestra or opera, like there's just so many beautiful venues for that here. Look at that. Gorgeous. If you guys actually had to vote in the comments, what would you say is your favorite city in Europe? I'm curious. Because even though I've been to quite a few different countries in Europe, I definitely haven't seen even a third of it, probably. I mean, as in like visiting even a third of the countries in Europe, because there's so many small ones. So while I'm living here in Bulgaria, I will have a much better opportunity to do that. Only other negative, if I'm being very picky about Prague, is that while I love cobblestone streets, they are not easy on your suitcase tires, because I had to walk about like 10 minutes from the subway last night to my Airbnb, and I was like, please don't ruin my suitcase tires. I really like my carry-on suitcase, but it was really making a lot of noise on the cobblestone streets, so hopefully it survives. Oh, we got one of their cute little streetcars. Look how nice they are. They're so cute. I love them. That's obviously one of the older ones. They also have like new ones here as well, but I really like the old ones. The bridge that you see right in front of over there is actually the more famous bridge. That's the Charles Bridge. I'll give you a view of it in just a second, but I like the view of the castle from this bridge, which unfortunately I don't know the name of right now, but it is beautiful. Look at the river here. Beautiful. I think I would love to live in Prague like for the summer. Imagine that, just having like a nice Airbnb in the center, be able to go for like walks and runs by the river, drink coffee in the cute cafes. Like, it is so scenic. There's the new streetcar. Let's see if I can run across the road. It's going to be a bumpy ride. There we go. There's a little dinner boat cruise going on here. That's another really popular thing to do, kind of similar to Paris, is take like a dinner cruise. If I had more time, I absolutely would. Let me give you one more view here. Oh my gosh, we got Eduardo from Curitiba. Great Brazilian city. So absolutely stunning. I'm so glad I got to share it with you guys. Oh, what the heck. I was trying to flip the camera and it was taking a moment. So guys, this was not the perfect live stream. I apologize. I tried my best, but nonetheless, I'm glad that we had this opportunity to view this beautiful city together. I hope it gave you at least a little taste, right? It gave you a little preview of what this amazing place has to offer, and I hope you'll enjoy my videos from here as well. Thank you so much to Tanyo for the super chat, asking, do I have a favorite city? If you're just asking me about my favorite city, like in general, in the world, is definitely Tokyo. Tokyo is my favorite city ever, and I am kind of itching to get back to Japan, but it probably will be a while. So yeah, if I had to choose my favorite city, that would be it. Thank you so much for the super chat. And oh my goodness, Rob Ned, thank you so much for the very generous super chat here at the end. That is so kind of you. I hope you are doing great, and I hope you enjoyed this tour of beautiful Prague. I'm actually really grateful that we got such a nice sunset here. Polly Skirt, why do you keep saying turn right? I'm gonna end my live stream here. What is, I mean, to my right is just the bridge and the water. I don't think I can turn right. Okay, let me give you one more view and then we will end things off here. There we are. Stunning. All right, guys, so that ends our live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for coming out. And of course, I still have some, Bulgaria videos coming out before I get to my Prague and Vienna videos. But this coming week's video will actually be a bit of a special treat, so stay tuned for those. And in March, I will actually have more than likely some very exciting travel destinations coming up, so I hope you guys will stay tuned. Thank you all so much for coming out. And I forgot the word goodbye in Czech. So thank you all so much for coming out, and I will see you in the next one. Keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.